Markiplier sat alone in his dark room, his mind reeling with thoughts and fears. He had been feeling off for weeks now, but it was getting worse. He couldn't focus on editing his videos, and he felt like he was losing his grip on reality. His heart raced as he heard voices whispering in his head, telling him he was worthless and that nobody cared about him. He tried to ignore it, to push it away, but it was getting harder. He was scared of what was happening to him, scared that he was losing his mind. But he couldn't tell anyone, not even his best friend and fellow YouTuber Ethan. Ethan had noticed that something was off with Mark, but he didn't want to push him. He knew Mark could be sensitive about these things, and he didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable. But as Mark's behavior became even more erratic, and his content took a dark turn, Ethan knew he couldn't just sit back and watch his friend spiral out of control. One day, Ethan decided to take the plunge and comfort Mark about his behavior. He knocked on Mark's door, but there was no answer. He tried again, but still nothing. Ethan's heart started to race as he feared the worst. He knew he had to get inside and check on Mark. He grabbed a spare key from the landlord and let himself in. The room was dark and musty, and there was no sign of Mark. Ethan searched the room frantically, calling out his friend's name. Finally, he found Mark huddled in the corner, rocking back and forth, muttering to himself. "Ethan, I can't. Make it stop," Mark whispered, his eyes wild with fear. Ethan's heart broke at the sight of his friend in such a state. He knew he had to help him, but he didn't know how. He sat next to Mark, put a comforting arm around him. "Mark, I'm here for you. We'll get through this together, okay?" Ethan said, hoping his words would reach Mark. Mark looked up at Ethan, tears streaming down his face. He could see the genuine concern in his friend's eyes, and it gave him a glimmer of hope. Ethan wasn't just another person who didn't understand what he was going through. He was someone who genuinely cared. Slowly, with Ethan's help, Mark was able to open up about what he was feeling. He told Ethan about the voices in his head, the nightmares that haunted him, and the crippling anxiety he felt. Ethan listened, offering comfort and understanding, and together they came up with a plan to get Mark the help he needed. Ethan helped Mark reach out to a therapist and a doctor who could prescribe medication to manage his symptoms. It wasn't an easy journey, but with Ethan's support, Mark was able to get a grip on his mental health and start to heal. Mark eventually opened up to his fans about his struggle with mental illness, and the overwhelming response of love and support only strengthened his determination to get better. He also made a commitment to use his platform to raise awareness and support for those who are struggling. Mark and Ethan's friendship grew stronger through this difficult time, and they were able to support each other through thick and thin. And as Mark continued to heal and manage his mental health, he knew he could always count on Ethan to be there for him, no matter what.